Good evening and welcome to Real, a 6-part television series made entirely by students of La Trobe University, aiming to look at Melbourne from a different perspective. I'm your host, Kalani Fisher. Tonight marks the first episode of our 6-part series of Season 2. Over the next few weeks, we will explore love and loss in the community through documentary and short film. Each episode has a sub-theme. Tonight, we will explore courage. This is something you definitely won't want to miss. So what is courage? Winston Churchill once said, "Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen." Our first film tonight is Denial, directed by Sinair Al-Sheikh, and it explores courage during a time of loss. Let's take a look.
So, the finals are in 2 weeks. You excited?
I guess.
Are you nervous?
A little bit. You know me, when the date comes closer and closer, I will be.
Go, Luke! Oh, hi, honey. I wanted you to have this. Come here so I can put it on you. Think of Mummy when you wear it. Hmm?
Look, I know it's hard for you, mate. It's hard for me too. But she's your mother, and she'll want to see you there.
I'm not going.
She'll be upset if you don't. Is that what you want? Where the hell have you been?
Kicking the football.
On the day of your mother's funeral? Why are you doing this? Acting like nothing's wrong. Lucas! Luke! Just wait a second. This here, your behaviour, it isn't right. You have to accept it. You have to say goodbye.
I don't want to say goodbye!
Luke.
No, just let me alone!
Wow, I think we can all relate to elements of that film at some point in our lives. Sometimes letting go of something we love is the most difficult thing to do. A very moving piece, to say the least. Denial is directed by Saner Al-Sheikh. Now, our second film tonight is a documentary about a courageous group of people who have dared to dream. Let's take a look at The Black Line, directed by Lucy Baker.
I really enjoy having the chance to race the best athletes in the world. I was born premature. I was born at 24 weeks, so 16 weeks premi. Basically, my lungs were really underdeveloped, so I was given 100% oxygen, which is normally it's actually really toxic for your body. But one of the effects of that was that it burnt the retinas of my eyes. So basically, your retina is normally meant to be nice and flat, but mine are sort of all crinkled and they just don't function very well. So basically that limits the distance I can see to about 2 meters, and it also limits my peripheral vision as well. I guess I'm a very stubborn person, and I like to sort of think that there isn't anything that I can't do. I guess that there just might be, for me, a different way of doing something to someone who's fully sighted.
Enjoy that kind of mental aspect of pushing yourself to the limit and feeling the burn and having your body wanting to give up and just your mind is the only thing that's stopping you. without my right foot and fibula, and the doctors didn't have any reason for that. It was just one of those things. 1 in every 100,000, I believe the statistic is. So just popped out. Parents weren't expecting it. I think my dad kind of, fainted or something in the background. They doused him with a bit of water and he was like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. So just one of those things. And the doctors, though, I was born in '87 and still not really, I suppose, comprehending what people with disability can do. And they were like, oh yeah, she'll never be able to ride a bike, she'll never be able to rollerblade, ice skate, all these kinds of things. And my parents were just like, guys, come on, she's missing a tiny bit of it, like, she'll be able to do anything. So with their support, I've been able to, I think my 7th birthday party was down at the Kew Traffic School on our bicycles. Society and how they view people with disability. I mean, you've gone from 30 years ago where if you had a child with a disability, you'd, shut them up and wouldn't talk about it. Whereas now, people with disability are out there in society, we're contributing to society, and it's not, it's not a social faux pas. It's very much, we're all inclusive these days.
Sponsorship in terms of Paralympic sport is almost unheard of. It's, I guess there are very few athletes that have actually secured sponsors, and I think it's definitely, it comes down to the lack of media exposure. I guess the way that Paralympic sport is portrayed, like a lot of general public don't really know much about it at all. Like, I've had a lot of people come up to me after the Paralympics and sort of say, I really enjoyed watching it, you guys are so inspirational, why isn't there more coverage? I think it's, I guess, one of those things that, because I guess we do things differently to someone who doesn't have a disability, maybe that, I don't know, that's just not as appealing to people. Or I guess Olympic sport, it's automatically something that people are drawn to, and it's a really sort of popular culture in Australia to be, I guess, involved in sport and to be watching sport and keeping up with it. But I think people aren't so aware that there's this, I guess, another tier to that, as in, like, there's the Paralympics after the Olympics. Like, people always go, okay, yeah, the Olympics, and then they just don't really know that the Paralympics is after that.
Within disability sport, it's a level below. It's slowly coming up to par, but when I first started travelling the world, we had to fully fund ourselves and pay for all our trips. Then the government started putting more money into Paralympic sport, and we didn't have to pay to go overseas anymore, which was amazing. Then you have places like the Victorian Institute of Sport who give you a little bit of financial assistance that helps towards training costs and equipment costs. And I mean, a swimming suit, when we were getting towards those fancy futuristic ones at the end, they were costing $800 to $900 each. So if we have having to be paying for those, they only last a couple of races as well, and you can put a finger through them so easily. So quite expensive in that respect. More recently, moving into cycling was mind-boggling. I didn't actually fully comprehend that sport could be as expensive as cycling. You don't only need your bike, but everything else that goes with it. But then also the cycling, like absolutely amazing, but did cost $5,500.
I guess hopefully as we, inform people more and educate people more on what we do and the different sports and the different disabilities, then over time I'm sure that people will start to grasp, the idea of athletes with disabilities competing against the best in the world, because we do exactly the same thing as what able-bodied athletes do. It's just that things, the way we do it are a little bit different.
Welcome back. Can I just say, every time I watch that documentary, I find it just as inspiring as the first time I watched it. Incredible, incredible story by both of those ladies. We're now joined with Dr. Gabriel Murray, who is a senior lecturer of cinema and media studies at La Trobe University, who will be with us every week. Good evening, Gabriel. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, my first question that I wanted to ask you tonight is, what do you think of Prue and Hannah's story?
I have to say that the thing that's fantastic about this particular documentary is that the filmmakers managed to get to such vibrant characters who are so willing to talk about their personal stories and their disabilities in such a kind of matter-of-fact way. So they're very happy to describe, their parents' responses, the actual physical disability, etc. So it's really interesting to see them sit there and so comfortably talk about that, and to see their kind of vibrancy and animation when they talk about their love for the sport and really how their disability hasn't affected them in any way in the sense of achieving the goals they've set themselves.
What I love about that documentary is that we got a chance to know about the story of those girls without actually, having to personally interview them. And that's why I love documentaries so much. I think if I spoke with those ladies, I might feel uncomfortable or awkward, but we got to see into their lives and the lives that they lead, and like you were saying, really get in there. I loved how the documentary was put together with the music and the imagery. What did you think about the overall production of the film?
I have to say, Kalani, that I too have seen this film in various cuts, and I was very impressed to see the way in which it had been contextualised around a lot of the footage of the girls actually doing the swimming and the riding, the slow revelation of their the foot piece that Hannah uses.
That was very surprising.
Yes.
I didn't expect that either, and I thought that was a really good way that Lucy kind of revealed that slowly, kind of kept the audience wondering, all right, well, what's this really about? I was just wondering as well, in terms of Hannah and Prue's story, did you find it a rare story that was being told?
I think the girls sort of say it themselves when they talk about the fact that as athletes, if they were within, say, the Commonwealth or the Olympic environment, there would automatically be this kind of media focus on their activities. And, as they talk about going to different sports events and how, if you go to something more mainstream like the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games, the audience is absolutely full and there's cameras there and it's being recorded, etc. Whereas often for them, there is a level in which that they're neglected because they're functioning within a different realm.
Yes. Do you find that overall documentary is that chance, and even film is that chance of giving a voice to those people that not many people know about? For example, these Paralympians who we don't really get to see that much footage on TV or the media.
I think you're absolutely right, Kalani. I think documentary has the ability to not just kind of show us particular groups or communities within the world in which we live that on some levels get ignored because of a whole range of different reasons, but they're also able to kind of get into the intimate stories that we often don't get in a kind of a more, media bite sort of environment in which we live. Yes. So there's a sort of a depth to them and an intimacy that we often don't get.
And I love that.
Yeah.
It's just incredible and so inspiring. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Gabrielle Murray, and we really look forward to seeing you in the next few weeks.
Thank you, Kalani. It's a pleasure.
Well, that's all we've got time for tonight on Real. Thank you so much for joining us on what is our first episode of the series. We really look forward to seeing you again. Please join us as we explore the theme of hope at the same time next week. I'm your host, Kalani Fisher. Keep it real.